lane with Kennen's laning strength, and the final pick of the draft is that Varus for Double Lift.
Yeah, and even though we kind of prepped saying it was going to be a Felios or Jinx, I think once the Kennen came in, and you're thinking, okay, everyone who does damage is
something like the Rel that is slower, could be more of a problem. Pyosik going in mid, Quid under pressure, APA gets paid. First blood to Team Liquid.
In the coach interview, 100 Thieves just has a strong team fighting composition, so they want to get to that phase. Team Liquid, though, is going to push.
Ooh, Double Lift getting engaged on here as Yawn is down to about 100 HP. He's already dead. 100 Thieves get him in the 2v2 as Busio is slammed back into the wall. He's got the bailout, but he ain't going to bail out in time. Core JJ just might get traded back as Closer comes in with a shattering strike, and Double Lift hits him with a piercing air.
Go bad early.
Core JJ jumping over the wall there to see if he could interfere with his Drake take, but because it's a 3-man commit from 100 Thieves, there's nothing for him.
Reduced.
Reduced by 90 or whatever. Busio, handshake there onto Pyosik. 100 Thieves now getting engaged. Nice engage from Core JJ, finds Closer and Quid, but now it's Pyosik locked down in the front. Quid finds the kill. 100 Thieves strike.
Yeah, I gotta say, in the two biggest fights that mattered, Busio has really performed this game. It was the gank early. Right there, again, Core JJ engages. Busio is patient enough.
Hold on now. Quid immediately with the shuffle. APA thought he was
sequence. They're going to be able to give first turret of the game to Quid. Uses the crown once again to tank some turret damage.
Turret with it ended up having a timer that ran most of the way down. Speaking of the timers, this one's getting a little bit short, but I don't always trust Spectator Herald timer anyway. Summit versus Someday in the bottom. This is still the part of the map where a big part of Team Liquid's gold lead is coming from. But Someday's going all in. He nearly gets the kill, but he won't quite find it. Double Lift shows up, and the snipe with James.
And be able to really, fight people in these side lanes. The way that you win trades in a 1v1, if he's going to be playing in the side lane against Seer, is you have to be rocket jumping in aggressively, and it's going to be tough, I think, for him, unless the rest of his team can do a really good job to actually create space.
Closer trying to go in there, but now we got the follow-up from 100 Thieves, and they ain't going to find it just yet, but they swoop him right back in. Summit's picked up thanks to the Emperor.
The Baron Pit should have actually tipped them off, right? Like, there was a ward on the way to the Baron Pit.
Let's watch this back with vision, because there's no way 100 Thieves would just give it. That's an incredible call by TL.
There was a ping, a red side ping from 100 Thieves on the Baron while they were still on the Drake.
So from what was looking like a pretty doomed game.
And they need to as well, because that was sole point for 100 Thieves as well. So this bottom turret goes to Summit.
Yawn is in a pretty decent spot. They're going to knock down the tier 1 mid guaranteed. So they got a lot from this. They went
right, not having those outer turrets up for 100 Thieves, maybe allowing Core JJ and Summit to have a little bit more real estate to look for.
The Dragon, they're just hitting. Burned down by Team Liquid. 100 Thieves ready to make their entrance. We might just get a smite fight. Keeper's verdict. Did not hit Closer, but it is going to go over to Team Liquid anyway. 100 Thieves
against an Ezreal, and you're in the pit against a Kennen. I kind of hate this call, but they're going to go for it.
They try to use the Keeper's verdict. Pyosik doesn't hit. Summit with a massive engage. So Summit on to 3, but he ain't going to find the kills just yet. Pyosik has stolen the Baron, and 100 Thieves already lost Busio. They try to retreat.
Fairly difficult to actually catch a cleanse Ezreal, to catch a Tristana. So it feels like they don't feel that they can actually start these fights. And so they just kind of end up throwing their game on this decision to go for the Baron, which was really, really ill-advised. It's just a bizarre kind of ending to this game number 1.
Team Liquid have made better decisions in this game. The Baron sneak, their ability to focus the objectives properly, and it's those choices that have resulted in a 7,500 gold lead. They are busting the base of 100 Thieves right now. That middle lane tier 3 turret still only standing at half HP. Bottom lane inhibitor under pressure now. We've still got the cannon minion blessed up with Baron. Double Lift's going to remove that one now. But APA can just step up. As long as Pyosik guarantees that Quid doesn't go in for some sort of a scoop on him, should be pretty all right. As the mid lane tier 3 now under pressure from Summit, he'll finish that one off. And Someday is still just no answer whatsoever to this Kennen in the 1v1. It's very difficult for him to deal with this champion, because if you look at the itemization of Someday, it's pure armor to deal with the double 80 carry on the enemy team. So that
paralysis for 100 Thieves
does so much. As Team Liquid now trying to get away. Pyosik using the slam to tackle. Players now look to pressure onto the inhib, take that one out, make it a 2-inhib game. Pyosik with a steadfast presence. Core JJ grand exit right back over the wall. Someday with a knock-up. He goes all out to bring Summit into the rest of the team, but he pops the Zonias, and instead it's Quid, who may just drop. The bailout keeps him alive. Beautifully done from Busio, as Pyosik tries to go over the wall, and Quid still lives. Liquid zoned away from this one. There is no Baron for another minute and 15 seconds, but Team Liquid's going right down mid. They've already found Closer. Why was he there? Team Liquid pushing with a 4-man squad down mid. They got the 1-man split up top. 2 inhibitors are already down, and inhibitor number 3 is about to have a wave crash into it. TL, our 5v4 for the next 35 seconds.
Going to be a really difficult defense for 100 Thieves. You could see they wanted to stick around for the Cloud Drake, but Team Liquid just didn't give them the option to do that. 3 and
TP, right? So if they left a ward in the base, we know that they didn't, but 100 Thieves doesn't know that. You know, he could just TP and look to end the game. That you can survive against all of these supers with the Baron waves coming in as well. It's going to be incredibly clear these waves pretty effectively.
Yeah, 4 supers at once crashing though, so here's Team Liquid stepping up. Oh, APA takes so much damage.
Doublelift is also at half HP though, so it's a little bit harder to chase than they'd like. Shattering Strike down to the Summit. He is about to get shredded. Closer here with the front line as Busio's ulti stops Team Liquid from following up. Now they're bringing in the TP to reinforce. Pioshik gets stuck up against the inhibitor wall. He's juggled around by Quid and taken down. 100 Thieves gonna do for 1, but the inhibitor mid is still gonna drop. Some days too low, the Thieves have to retreat. They've lost a Nexus turret. 100 Thieves 4v3 holding on, but it's double marksman against a respawn inhibitor, and the thing's about to drop. Doublelift charges up a piercing arrow. So the poke also becoming less and less meaningful as Closer is coming in for the flag. Giving it his flash into the crash down Magnet Storm. Core JJ's the focus as Young gets away to the side. Someday coming in as the Keeper's verdict ejects Someday and Closer from the fight. Summit's gonna drop. They turn around. Quinn gets a reset, but only for a second as Doublelift and Boost here are looking to do APA. APA's in the back of the base. APA's in the Nexus. They gotta try to stop them, but they can't do it. It's game number 1 for Team Liquid.
He did not play a single Viego game, so he's bringing out Viego in playoffs against Closer here, which is pretty interesting. All time, he has played a lot in the past. So
what made you change up some of the bans and picks? You obviously prioritized Xayah higher than Tristan this time.
I mean, despite us winning the game, you know, I felt like the game wasn't like too much of a given for us. Like it was more of like them playing like the game super bad and not super bad. So I think just the way, looking at the way they played the game.
Even though it is 280 carries, it's going to be Doublelift going AP, and they're going to look for the dive on Yon.
Yon now stunned up, down to 100 HP. He's bursted out. Core JJ falls 2. They'll make it a 2-for-1 as Summit TP's down, but he's too little back. But Someday doing a good job sidestepping away from that one. He's played both sides of K'Sante versus everything so much at this point. He's got to be aware of what the 2300 HP. The eyeball is active. Someday's going to come down and try to interfere with it now as APA and Quid 1v1 off to the side, but Summit joins up. He goes all out. He brings Quid back underneath the turret, and Team Liquid ends up taking out the enemy mid.
Him, so you'll see Pioshik moving back down, but Closer's trying to threaten the dive, and the TVs are coming in.
Busio going for the flash engage, but he ain't gonna find it. Core JJ with a knockup onto 2. Yana Pioshik diving even further. Massive top blossom from APA finds 3. Quid and Busio gotta try to get back as Closer is too far behind enemy lines. Pioshik picks up the kill. Quid staying around a little bit.
With his own ulti?
Yeah.
And I think that was maybe the thought process there, is that Doublelift supposed to follow up. So you have to give credit to Core for, you know, did Doublelift call, hey, put Plasma on him, I'll come in. You know, who's making that call in that situation? But at the end of the day, they do get a really good swap up.
To join up in the very middle of everything. Eyeball open on the Rift Herald, down to about 3k HP. Quid off to the side, gotta be careful about the feathers. Core JJ gets caught before he's able to find his entrance, but he still gets some of the CC anyway. APA with a 4-man ulti. Team Liquid striking back, but Doublelift is still alive. He finds a double kill, but Summit takes it over the wall and shuts him down. Pioshik's ready to reset. It's a 3v3. Crash down comes in. Pioshik's about to show Closer who's the better rel, and it's the one playing
here, so they're gonna try to force it, but this means they're gonna lose 2 turrets mid for this. Potentially even more than that, which again is a pretty questionable call.
Yeah, 100 Thieves really hard committing to keeping Team Liquid away from Soul Point. Not even Soul, just Soul Point. The Herald about to get its charge.
To be 6 kills to 6, 500 gold down, up 1 Drake, has got to feel pretty good for Team Liquid.
Absolutely, and Pioshik is going to be closing in on his second item, right? And Viego, from that point, could potentially snowball, but they're looking for a dive on Yon.
Busio with the engage, forces out the Feather Storm immediately. Someday summoning up the Ornhorn, and Core JJ is taken out by Doublelift. Nice counter punch.
Second item already done now for Pioshik. He's going towards Sterek, so he is really powerful. They're playing through bot, as the answer is for 100 Thieves, just go back through top. Quid's pushing up there, Doublelift, Closer, and Busio around mid. So they should be able to eventually secure this mid lane tier 1, and they're pushing on that top lane tier 2, but Pioshik is here to threaten.
APA wants to clear out the wave, but he's not going to clear it all out in time.
He's completed them before the 4th dragon even spawns.
I mean, he has a monster lead, but it also means with the goal about this dragon setup here, Summit did go back to base, but he's using the Hextech gates to get out on the map. And Quid finishes his buy. He's TPing out as well, so it's going to be a fight.
Someday getting caught out here a little bit. takes a small chunk of damage, but Summit eating half his health bar there to Quid's explosive charge, plus the Void Seeker from Double Lift. 100 Thieves chunking out the enemy front line, now turning their attention back over to the Drake. APA using the clone recall trick to try to get a little bit of scouting down, but no, the Drake.
Critically, though, both APA and Yon did complete their second item, so they're much stronger than the last time 100 Thieves could have done this.
Summit going to the Hex Gate to the back of the Baron pit. TP coming in now to make sure they can bring APA in, but APA immediately thrown up into the air. Pop Blossom finds Closer, but he's the only one. APA tries to get away, but Double got the killer instinct. Yon goes up into the air, but he'll die as soon as he lands. Someday taking the kill credit on that one as Quid jumps forward, going after Core JJ. Double versus Summit 1v1 off to the side as Buzio gets jumped on by Bioshik, but the Viego will not find a kill just yet. He finally gets one. He's going to try to take the body over the wall. Goes Closer, Magnet Storm on 2. They're looking to get the tanks. They got to focus Bioshik. Summit tries to disengage. Double Lift hot on the chase, continuing after him. Finds the kill with the Void Seeker as Quid takes a rocket jump forward. Bioshik.
Get the Baron. The turn on the TP was excellent. That timing on the knockup from Someday was picture perfect.
So still does not want to get hit by any of those Void Seekers. 100 Thieves looking to put some pain onto the tier 2 turret here in the bottom lane.
Strong.
Closer off to the side. APA only going to lose the clone. Oranhorn summoned up. Someday right to the uprights. Worth 3 points, but nothing here in League of Legends. Closer. Shattering strike. Yon having to escape. APA! Blossom coming out from APA to find the engage on everybody. Double Lift goes on a rampage and Buzio drops. Double Lift's got to try to keep himself alive, and he's doing it. Bioshik's about to melt, but he found the reset of the Double Lift. Will he be able to do anything else? It doesn't quite look like it. Summit goes all out. The rest of 100 Thieves are still in the answer. 100 Thieves just pulled it off. A triple kill over Quid. Double Lift died so the team could thrive. They're going to come back, finish game number 2, and tie this series up.
Just like that, 100 Thieves gonna close this one out in under 30 minutes. Massive game here from Double Lift. It started out perfect at level 1, and they made that lead count.
From level 1 to a 27.5-minute win, 9-2 Kaisa, 4-1 Trist. You boys said the carries had to carry.
Yeah, and it's gonna be Fiora for Summit. So, I mean, if I'm Someday, I'm actually pretty scared this game because you got fifth pick counterpicked by the Fiora. You know, he had to blind, which is the tier build. It is very, very greedy. But, you know, if you're not punished in lane and you go this style, then you could actually get a tremendous use out of that passive and those autos for spamming out heals in the 5v5s. Because if you don't go for that build, you actually can't really maintain enough mana to spam out those Qs. Almost had that combo happen to him as he had to actually Killer Instinct. He was at the fattest part of the wall, so he couldn't flash there. So he had to Killer Instinct to a skinnier part of the wall, then flash over. But if that Miasma catches you, it's nothing you're releasing. It has no TP, so it is going to be a free Herald, but they're going to trade it for the solo tower gold on the bot side for Yon. So again, I do favor what TL in. They're just getting harassed so heavily. Unless they are willing to make like a full commit flash play, AP is just harassing them on the side.
Well, he's gone in. He's all out looking for the enemy mid laner as APA's been caught, but the Cosmic Radiance keeps him alive now. Closer off to the side, just dies. First blood over to the side of Double Lift. The 80 carry. Double Lift going into the back. He won't be able to find APA. Instead, he's going to get burst down next. Dredge line finds him, and TL buries him. 100 Thieves tried to
stronger control of the game.
That's a difficulty, and that's why I thought they were going to just back off, because everyone approaching from one side is going to be so difficult to make it work.
He also kept throwing out those hooks as well. Like, I'm thinking for 100 Thieves, just wait for one to land, but they're going for more.
100 Thieves want to dive now. The tier 1 turret's still standing, but just barely. But it stands long enough to make sure that 100 Thieves aren't going to get what they came for. They'll at least force down the complete goofy approach to the fight.
You're playing a 2-threat comp, and your mid laner has Everfrost, Banshees, CDR boots, and
there, Team Liquid making their way up. Buzio's been spotted, so they don't have the element of surprise anymore. 100 Thieves still on the Baron. Got it down to about 4,500. Bioshik still thinking about stepping up. APA has found Buzio, has to pop the quickness just to try to get himself away as Quid takes a chunk. Massive engage coming out from Closer, but nobody's there to follow up. They immediately pop the Cosmic Radiance. Double Lift jumps back into his own death, and Yon takes the kill. Summit's going after Someday. Team Liquid had no troubles with this one.
Has anything to deal with what TL has brought out. I think TL were really intelligent about how they drafted, about how they have played out this game. There's no way
to fly in, but there's just more people there ready to kill him. So perfectly played fight by Team Liquid. Soul secured.
It's done.
I'm looking across the map. There's a turret dead, so it's not a perfect game, but it's pretty damn close.
It is pretty damn close. This is in draft.
Well,
it's just Someday with an ice.
Come on.
Trying to engage. Everybody else is up here. Someday's up in top side. Summit gets caught. Flashes back over the wall, but Double Lift's ready for the flash follow to shut him down. So finally, 100 Thieves are on the board, but at what cost?
I mean, that's fine. That always happens. That's Summit.
Everybody gets one.
Yeah, two things are true of every Summit game. He's going to win lane by 20 CS, and that's going to happen as well.
He's going to die.
So we got that out of the way. The Team Liquid's still in a good spot.
Yeah, I mean, they're in a really good spot. Honestly, it's not that big of a deal. He does die mid lane, but they get multiple towers, and there was a lot committed. If he just died for absolute free, but
something proactive this game, and you can say it's because of the draft, so then I have to go back and ask, well, then what the hell was the plan with the draft? It just seems like
absolutely trashed this team in the early game, and Teal is so good in early game.
And your question of what the plan was, the draft was bad, but the margins of play were so slim that they just didn't execute and they lost.
Pyosik going for the dive, leaves the charge with Dreadline as the tier 3 turret dies. Quid, half HP. Someday telling the same story here off to the side. Pyosik took a chunk, but that doesn't matter. Team Liquid going to claim their second inhibitor of the game here in mid. They've got the wave crashing into the tier 2 up in the top side now. Double bolted shut with titanium bolts. Team Liquid looking to chase it. All right, Team Liquid, they're starting up the Baron, and they're starting it up with only 3 dudes. APA's got the damage to burn it down pretty rapidly. Summit's back in the enemy base, working on the Nexus turrets. Busio trying to go in. Cosmic Radiance coming down as 100 Thieves trying to make their last stand. Nobody's gonna die just yet. Team Liquid falling back. APA and Yon both took a chunk, but Team Liquid took a Nexus turret. Summit's just putting the work in on this one, and Someday can't do a damn thing about it. The Cassante, no match for the 3-item Fiora, and Team Liquid is right back into the Baron pit. We're gonna repeat what you just saw. Let's do it again. Nexus under pressure as they send Quid back into the base now too, but it's gonna be a TP coming in from the side of Team Liquid to bring APA back into the fight now as Closer's ready to try to fight and challenge here for the Baron, but it ain't gonna work as Busio's taken down. Everybody's dropping. Summit's going in. He's gonna kill him 1v2. Quid flashing away from the repose. Summit finally dies to the damn turret. It don't matter. 100 Thieves is done for. Team Liquid's gonna end this one in 32 minutes.
Incredible game here from TL. Absolute domination in draft, in game. TL are gonna move it to match point here. They're up 2-1.
Tristana remains 100% win rate in this series. Cassante remains 0% win rate in this series.
Jax just feels so obvious to me. You know, if you think about, you banned Gwen, you banned Fiora, those were obvious bans. What is the next champion that kind of slots in that way?
So just overall, very well done by Team Liquid.
And I want to say this is all 4 games now that TL have gotten first dragon.
Yeah.
They've been really getting the dragon, and now TL gonna get pushed, use Dematerializer on the cannon, but Someday in trouble. He just has to interrupt.
Someday knocks him up into the air with the Orn Horn. It's a proc, but Summit flashing in, trying to get it. Summit, closer, fall to Closer. Who gets his second?
Whoever went in first there would have lost the fight. That's why they stood it off there. And APA with the prio was able to start Dragon, but Quid is here. Pyosik goes if they can burst
over the wall. They instantly burst down Busio. Team Liquid with a nice trigger pull, but the top laners are ready to get involved. Ornhorn onto 3, and it forces out the ulti for the 4th. Quid with a jump over the wall, trying to get away from the helicopter as Summit enters evasion, a defensive stance, and chases after the 100 Thieves mid laner. There's no ultis on Xayah or Rakan. Core JJ using the grand entrance to get away from the dredge line of Busio. Dragon secured
this turret.
Oh, Quid getting engaged on with the flash from the Sejuani. He uses the buster shot to knock Pyosik back underneath the turret, finds a lot of damage on the Team Liquid jungler. So TL's play is not going to work out on the top side, but they do get the turret in bottom lane. The tier 1 falls to APA, while the Rift Herald summoned up from the Thieves is going to get one back in mid.
They could have maybe walked that in.
Already fully stacked too, considering how spammable the spells are on this champion. So once that evolves,
DPS in these fights, as long as you're hitting your spells. Pyosik though, looking for a gauge.
Pyosik on the front line. 100 Thieves can't fire back right into the center. They're going to go after APA instead. But Yon's already killed Busio. XCC coming up from Someday as Double is firing from the Drake pit. Pyosik now under pressure, but it's a double kill back over to Yon. It's traded 2 for 2 as Double is still alive, trying to find a little bit more damage under the Team Liquid bot lane duo. Quid up at the top side, 1v1 against Summit, and they're both low. Back in the Dragon pit, things continue with a static shift.
Show me the dragon.
Drake and hitting Double Lift. He had to flash back over the wall to get away, and it looks like they're just going to
been able to succeed much this split.
And I'm going to be interested to see how Someday actually wants to play this out. Is Busio flashing in?
APA getting dove by 3. Alley-oop slam dunk for Quid. Team Liquid loses their mid laner, and 100 Thieves is going to take the money from that one. They're going to take down the tier 1 turret. They're going to take the continue flying out there from Double Lift, trying to land as much of that poke as he can. There's a Sejuani ulti. Busio in danger here, but Core JJ damage too. The explosive shot might claim him. Core JJ explodes, and 100 Thieves get a
has the level available, but Jax is behind him.
Summit's
see him.
coming in.
They know.
They make the collapse. They've immediately found a ton of damage on Busio, and they're going to kill him before the fight even starts. Team Liquid, beautifully done there. As Summit's got to be careful about chasing too hard. Team Liquid finding the enemy support for free means now they're going to start up the Drake, move on to Soul Point.
Yeah, great teleport there by Team Liquid. You'd think that ward was a little bit too far away, but 100 Thieves was just too spread out.
APA gonna get jumped on now. The closer goes in, but he gets bursted down. Yawn's in a rampage, and 100 Thieves may have just lost the game. They were waiting on a pixel rush, but it was warded.
He saw the angle, but APA was ready for it. Petrifying gaze. They have to stop this Team Liquid Baron push somehow. Quid got chunked out though. Team Liquid is just rolling through them.
They're just Quid, right? And this is going to be an incredibly difficult position for 100 Thieves.
And the comms have to be chaotic right now. The bottom part of the rift looks like a Guitar Hero track from how many pings at both sides are going off as both teams are trying to figure out where they want to attack, how they want to coordinate. Team Liquid keeping Summit back in the mid lane. He takes the tier 1 turret, applying pressure on the tier 2, double Baroned up cannon minions. Even if Summit's not standing there hitting the turret, those are doing plenty of damage, wearing it down. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, the tier 3 is under pressure, having already lost about half the HP on that Summit. Closer going mid, looking for Summit, who just disengages. Sejuani, if he hits Quid, he buffers through it, but it's enough to force him back from the tier 3. That falls, and Team Liquid claims the inhibitor in the bottom lane. Now they retreat before Closer and Someday can even rotate over, and TL get what they came for.
TL are just pulling them apart here with
The most 100 Thieves way.
They're backing it away. They're backing it away.
Yeah, I mean, it's so tough, right? Playing with fire a little bit, wanted to get an auto down, just try to get a little bit of damage out onto core, but
But it all comes down to this. If they can play this Baron fight properly, as 100 Thieves contests.
Look at Core and Summit. There's just no way you can walk in here.
They're ready for the flank. The Baron's down to about 700 HP. It's going to be secured by Pioshik on the Sejuani as Double Lift gets chain seized.
They got him!
God rips the feathers right through him. Busio's going to drop next. Quid goes into the Guardian Angel. He's going to resurrect, but it's only in time to watch the season end. Team Liquid will get a clean ace. They will wipe 100 Thieves off the rift. They will win this series, and they will eliminate 100 Thieves from Professional League of Legends for the rest of 2023.
Core JJ takes down Doublelift with his new partner, Rookie of the Year, Yawn. 8-0-3 in this one. Team Liquid, 3-1.
Easy stuff for TL, man. They played it cool, they played it calm, they played it collected, and they played it to Rookie of the Year, I should say, winner there in Yawn.
I mean, we talk about expectations for 100 Thieves, but also expectations were really high for TL, especially when we talked about them in spring. They were kind of touted as a summer split team. This is the team that's going to make it all happen in summer because we're going to have the work ethic. We're going to be grinding harder than anyone else. We are going to show what that is worth in summer, and now it is here, and they get their first playoff win. Clearly, a lot of relief there shown by Jan.
It's a 3-1 victory for Team Liquid over 100 Thieves, and now it's time to join Mark, Summit, and Pioshik for the Verizon postgame interview.
Thank you very much, Captain Flowers, standing by here with Summit, Pioshik, and Dodo to help with translation. Thank you guys for doing the interview. Congratulations on the win. Pioshik, I want to come to you first. You talked about way back debuting in North America being more nervous than the World Championship. How has playoffs been for you? This was your first playoffs win in North America.
표식 선수 이제 북미 처음 오셨을 때 이제 롤드컵 결승전보다 더 떨렸다고 데뷔를 하실 때 말하셨는데 이제 플레이오프는 좀 어떠셨는지 궁금하네요.
LCS 무대는 완벽하게 적응한 것 같은데 뭔가 저희 팀 정글러 입장에서 많이 불안한 게 많았어가지고 좀 걱정이 많기는 했던 것 같아요.
Yeah, so as for stage, I think I got adjusted perfectly, so I wasn't nervous or anything. But I think as a jungler in our team, there were some worries in the game. So I think I was getting worried a little bit in game.
Good to know. Summit, for you, last year in spring, you played against 100 Thieves and Someday, and this was your MVP, and they killed you a bunch of times. Did it feel good to get revenge?
Yes.
네.
He understood.
네. 그래 복수를 한 것 같아서 되게 좋고 되게 만족하고 있습니다.
Yeah, it feels really good to get revenge, and I'm really satisfied.
Well, here's something else you might be satisfied with. I just heard that you were actually the player of the series. How did it feel playing this matchup?
되게
이제 서밋 선수가 이제 플레이어 오브 더 시리즈가 되셨는데 이제 그거에 대해서 좀 어떻게 생각하시는지.
감사하고 다음 경기에서 더 잘할 수 있을 것 같습니다.
Yeah, thank you. And I think I could play better next series.
Speaking of next series, you'll be playing the loser of either Cloud9 or EG. That's going to be playing this weekend. Who do you guys think is going to win that series? Either one can
그리고
share their
이제
thoughts.
저희 다음 상대가 이제 클라우드9이나 이블지니어스 둘 중에 이제 지는 팀이랑 하게 되는데 어느 팀이랑 이제 좀 상대해보고 싶은지.
둘 다 기대되지만 C9이랑 좀 붙고 싶네요.
Yeah, some said I'm excited to play both of them, but I think I want to play C9 more.
What about you, Pioshik?
저는 솔직히 저희만 잘한다고 저희 할 것만 잘한다고 생각하면 누가도 이긴다고 생각을 해가지고 둘 다 딱히 큰 상관 안 하는 것 같습니다.
Yeah, I think whoever comes, EG or C9, if we just focus on our own game, we can beat both of them. So I don't care who comes.
Cool. Thank you guys so much for the interview. Anything you want to say to the fans before we head on to the lounge?
그리고 이제 팬들이나 이제 하고 싶은 말들 있으십니까?
Cheer for us. Thank you, fans. Thank you, Honda.
Cool. Thank you guys so much for the interview. Both of you guys had a great series. Hope to see you guys next weekend as well. That's going to do it for us here. We're going to head to the lounge where Emily is standing by with Core JJ, Yon, and APA.
Welcome to the lounge where TL are currently getting coached by Ben, who just sprinted, sprinted out the door.
Advance for Ben.
Yeah.
I got that, but it's fine. Congratulations on the win.
Yeah. One thing that I think is interesting, I can hear us echoing a little bit. Jan, they told you to carry this for the mental edge. Do you think you intimidated your opponent double if today with the Rookie of the Year trophy?
I really don't think so. Ben was like, damn, I can. He's going to feel the pressure.
I mean, like Busio, you did win the reward over Busio.
Yeah. You could have gotten into Busio's head, you know?
Yeah, no, that's what he meant. He meant
Oh, okay, not double. So they were like, okay, double's fine.
Ben wanted to just like get in Busio's. I'm like, sure, whatever.
All right, well, congratulations to you guys. I guess the big thing I saw from this series as opposed to your previous series is that overall, yes, there were some hiccups, but your team did seem a lot more stable and a lot more confident going into today. So the first thing I wanted to ask is, what did you learn from the NRG series that you could take into this matchup against 100 Thieves?
I can go. I think the NRG series for me particularly was really tough because we lost river control like every game. So I think something like the first, like this scrim week, I focused a lot on trying to maintain river control, like walking forward into the river, keeping my vision, protecting it. And then I talked a lot with Core and Piosik about that. And I think like this series is a good example where we just had really solid river control so I could fight most times.
You were talking before we went on air about the really low damage in the games. You're just like, yeah, I did 11,000 damage in this one. And then Core, you were mentioning, it's just like, no one was fighting.
Yeah.
Was that more 100 Thieves or more something you guys have changed? Because you have done nothing but team fight seemingly all year. And then this series, there was a bunch of slow games.